Justin Brayton, Abu Dhabi. It was a chaotic night. You actually weren't involved in any of it except for one key part, crashed out of the first main. You were down for a while, so I don't know if you had a dead leg or whatever, but I was seriously concerned for a little bit. Eventually limped off, didn't come back. First of all, how are you?
Yeah, unfortunately, first rhythm lane off the start. Another rider went from the right to the left in the air, and while I was in the air, just got fully cross-jumped and took my wheel out from underneath me and had a pretty good crash. And I got a hematoma like on my right butt cheek and hip, and my right elbow had like a stinger in that, and my right thumb is what I was mainly concerned about. And I couldn't, I was trapped under both my bike and Tanti's bike. And then there was a medic flag out and guys were just tripling into that rhythm lane. So I'm just gonna, I couldn't get out. So I was down for a little bit, and you never quite know with thumbs because I thought it actually swelled up pretty quick, and so I'm not sure about that. But other than that, just really sore and beat up, and my bike was really banged up. So sat out the rest of the night, which was a huge bummer, but it looks like I didn't miss much.
When you were laying there, did you think that something was seriously injured, or did you quickly figure out that actually you were reasonably okay?
I didn't know my right elbow and right thumb. That's what I was mainly concerned about, and I was up against the jump on my right side, so I would have had to. Basically, I needed help up. For one, I needed the bikes off me, but then I needed help up because I couldn't push my right arm against the jump to help myself up. So that's what I was mainly concerned about. Once I got some help up, I was able to limp off, and it's all good. Got a little ibuprofen in me now, and we'll see how it turns out in the morning.
You've raced, you're probably the best suited to discuss this because you've raced many different types of events, every corner of the world. Obviously, being in Abu Dhabi is cool. I feel like everyone is enjoying being here. I feel like the promoters looked at being in Abu Dhabi, doing the first race here, and felt that was so good that we could sacrifice something on the track. Whereas I feel like maybe if you're a race series, the track should always take precedent. What are your thoughts on the track, being here, and what WSX were trying to do here?
For one, I think it's really cool that we're in Abu Dhabi, like you said. For two, we've raced in tracks stadiums this size and had great tracks before. U.S. Open comes to mind. I raced Arena Cross for 3-4 years. There were some good tracks there. For one, I think 20 guys on a small track like this is way too many. For two, these layouts, it was the same thing in Birmingham. I mean, there was one 180 berm in Birmingham. Otherwise, you went inside the whole entire track. And this was the same way. I mean, it was about as boring as it gets as a racer because you literally can't make any passes. And they just got to do a better job of that. Whether it's, I don't know. It's like I looked at the layout and I'm just like, here we go again. 90-degree turn after whoops has never worked in the history of Supercross. And then just all these insides, and then really, really small berms. It's just like, that's the hard part is you want it to be, it's on a world stage, right? And there's a lot of big talk, and you've got some good riders here. I just want the tracks to match up to us, I've raced fair races in Iowa that are better tracks, and I hate saying bad stuff about it, but it's like I think we've all kind of had enough because we travel a long ways. We put a ton of effort in, hundreds of thousands of dollars from the teams. Let's race. Let's have some good tracks. Let's have some good battles. Let's have some separation where the cream rise to the top. You have guys out there that literally can just control the race from the front. And Vince, we'll just wait for someone and punt them off the track and cut the track. And it's like anything goes. And I follow motorsports a long time, and that doesn't happen in any other professional sport or motorsport. And that's the difficult part. So you want people to take it serious? Good luck.
You want the track to match up to your guys' level, and you also want the racing etiquette regulation to add up to that. Those are the two things coming away from tonight that are glaring problems. And truthfully, I don't think I've ever seen a paddock so unified. I feel like every single person in this pits, except for maybe one, feels the same way and wants to see the same thing.
100%. Like I mean, you've got a lot of great riders here, a lot of great teams that are spending a ton of money and a ton of time to prepare, and you want that to match up. You want to race at the highest level, and you don't want a circus, you know? I don't see Max Verstappen like waiting for people at an F1 race and just punting them off the track or cutting the track. And, you know, like I'm just like, it's tough. I'm a big fan of NASCAR back home, and, you know, the rules and regulations in place are really strict, and it keeps the racing good, and the cream, you know, normally rise to the top, and that's what you want, you know. And yeah, unfortunately, just the way the track's laid out and everything, you know, there's ways to do it. You just got to do a better job, and I don't know if there's, you know, like you said, that the paddock is really banded together. I mean, there's so many riders and crews, you know, coming up and discussing it, talking about it, because once again, I go back to the time and effort and money that everybody puts in, and we get a track like that and regulations like that and rules like it's like, yeah.
The biggest thing that sucks, and I said this to Kenny yesterday, Kenny is an amazing rider. Obviously, I don't need to say that. It sucks for him to come to a race and that almost doesn't matter. Everything he's built, everything he can do, which amazes us, who cares?
Can't even do it.
All you've got to do is get a start and whatever.
Yeah, and some people think that's cool. That's not cool in my opinion. There's, you know, we once again spend thousands of dollars testing equipment for the motorcycle and trainers and technique coaches and all this stuff to try and get better, like through the whoops and stuff, you know, and you know, you got to challenge us, basically. You really got to challenge us, because that's what everybody wants to see. They don't want to see a fair race in the cornfields of Iowa where a 65 rider can jump all the jumps. Like, we're literally the best in the world for a reason. We've got here for a reason because of hard work and sacrifice and all that. And then we get this. It's like, yeah, it kind of takes the steam out of everybody, right? No one really wants to, like, what do I need to work hard for if you can just a track like this, you know?